It's the NBA on EA Sports, and this is Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. From American Airlines Center in Dallas, tonight, the Dallas Mavericks taking on the Houston Rockets. Hello again, everyone. With Jay Williams, I'm Ed Cohen. Jay, as we focus on the Mavericks coming into play, they have got to get home court advantage, and they'll need it in what's going to be a tight 5-game series.
And I'll tell you, these 5 games really make each game take on a greater importance than the 7-game series we're used to.
Slam dunk.
If you didn't dunk that, then we would have to talk about it.
Harden with it up top. Just getting going here in Game 1. To Westbrook. Here comes the screen. Westbrook. Shot clock, it's coming down to 4. Now down to 3. Whistled for the foul. Chance coming up at the free throw line.
Hey, look, sometimes you need to feel out your opponent. Let them know you're there. I'm okay with that early foul.
Russell Westbrook at the line for 2 shots. A career 81% free throw shooter. Oops, he missed the first one. Misses the second as well. Flushes it home.
Some players are so cerebral. I'm not even paying attention to the dunk as much as I'm paying attention to the player pointing and communicating to everybody his team needs a guard on the next play down the court.
Westbrook to Kyle Kuzma. The drive right to the basket. Block shot.
Just incredible timing on that swat.
Nothing going here on that drive. No, he missed a short one there. Grabs his own miss and scores. Good concentration.
There's some players out there that like the freedom of space, and then we have the anomalies. We have the players who feel comfortable being uncomfortable. And almost the physicality of the game centers them and puts them right on balance every time.
It's Westbrook. Gets a look. Can't hit.
That's how you do it. You stay in his pocket and you never give him any space at all. You make him smell you every single possession.
Tough looking shot there. Still gets it to go down. Harden in possession. 8-0 is the score. To Capella. Perfect feed to set up the basket.
He's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays. No one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
And count the basket inside.
They're going to have to find answers defensively and quickly because he's carving them up in the first quarter.
Westbrook across the timeline. 10-2 the score. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
Attack mode isn't a switch that you can just turn on and off. He needs to do more of that. We need to see him penetrate, get into that lane, and create.
The Mavericks signal for timeout as they'll go over some tactics now in this first quarter of play. Both teams tweaking their lineups. Here come some changes. Doncic. Stuffs Stuffs it down with authority. Jay, they've had no answer for this guy.
He's been on fire this first quarter. That's the way you take it right to your opponent. You attack right out of the gate.
To Harden. Oh, highlight moves. Tough to pull off with the defender all over you. James Harden, 2 for 2. That's what you want. The challenge defending a guy who can be a 1 or a 2.
We're not old men talking about this game. We don't define players by positions anymore. Is he a 1 or is he a 2? No, he's James Harden. He's a scorer and an elite passer.
Harden into the front court. Less than a minute to go in a tightly played first quarter. Russell Westbrook rocking the rim.
Had a difficult first quarter. Couldn't really find his rhythm, but you got 3 more left to play.
Dallas has it.
I got ball. That's me. I got ball.
To the rim. Lays it up and in.
Well, when you play for each other and not just for yourself, that's when great things happen. You essentially lose yourself in what the team is trying to accomplish. It's called unselfish basketball. And there's nothing more beautiful than rewarding your teammate with a nice pass and letting them finish for 2 or 3 points.
Westbrook to Harden. From long range, his first effort off the mark.
And there's always so much talk about defense. How about offensively? If you continue to attack that shooter, now you're making him work on the defensive end. That makes him take his legs away on the offensive end.
Short jumper stays out. We've reached the end of the first quarter here in Game 1. Jay and I are back after this. It's the Western Conference Finals on EA Sports. Ed Cohen, Jay Williams with you as we get things started here in the second quarter. Here's Westbrook controlling the offense. To Davis. Not that time. Grant with the basketball. It's an 8-point lead. Offensive board. Basket's good on the follow. Way to stay with it.
Look, there was barely any contact on that last play. I agree with the ref's no call. Let him play.
Westbrook into the front court. They find themselves down 10. Able to convert inside.
There you go, finally. Shoot your shot.
Grant with the basketball. Looking to make something happen. Down to 5 on the 24. For 3. Message received. Well defended. Stuffs it down with authority.
It's easy to become mesmerized when you watch a player who can create off the dribble. We call that dancing. When you allow a player to dance with that much space, that's Prob City.
Looks like both teams are making substitutions. Count the basket. A lot of contact. No foul.
Big shout out to the athletic trainer for this team. It's obvious you've been doing all the preparation required of your team in the weight room in the offseason. Flex on them a little bit.
Kuzma to Westbrook. Finish that. Burke with it. His team on top by 8. And counted at the rim.
Man, that may not have been a gimme, but that layup at the rim definitely chips away at the pride of the defense.
Westbrook to Kyle Kuzma. Harden to Capella. Shot clock to 4 for Houston. Shot for James Harden. Nice pass to set things up.
I love the drive to the basket there. Instead of trying to go around or over, go through.
Westbrook to Capella. Off the mark. He's made those before, but that was well defended. A pass taken away by the Rockets. Layup's good at the buzzer. Nice finish. And the first half has come to an end. It's halftime here in Game 1. Let's get you to Orlando, where we say hello to Jalen Rose and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
The Mavericks. The Rockets. Maybe in the building, but
Player of the half.
I'm ready to skip ahead and just get. And that concludes our halftime report. Thanks for joining us. And see you again after the game.
Russell Westbrook with the rock. To Harden. Down low, Capella. Stuffs it down with authority. Jay, let's see if that's a sign for him.
Well, he's been pretty much non-existent the first 3 quarters, but when you have a play like that, that can get the juices going, and that can help you with your offensive rhythm.
And there's the whistle. Neither player giving up an inch. We have a tie-up. After the tie-up, they'll throw it up and see who gets the possession. Ball's tied up. Neither player wants to give it up. They're set to jump it up to see who gets possession. Doncic. Scores from the post.
Old school equals high percentage.
Harden in possession. His guys trail by 10. To Westbrook. To Harden. Not that time. Nice touch around the basket with the tip.
And sometimes less is more. Keeping it simple is the best way.
To Porzingis. Stuffs it down with authority.
If you know a guy is a driver, there's no need to apply that much pressure on him if his main objective is to get to the rim. Play off of him, make him think about the jump shot, and also, guys from the weak side on the help side, make sure you play in those gaps and you try to close out as quick as possible when he puts his head down.
Could not throw it down. Doncic. A lot of contact on that play. He plays through it and scores.
We're watching a clinic right now. We're watching basketball one-on-one. Whoever this professor is, he needs to get paid top dollar.
To Westbrook. Here comes the screen. Westbrook to Capella. Rises for the slam. Jay, I'm surprised he had a chance to wrap him up.
Well, you're not the only one surprised. This guy is not a good free throw shooter. You never let him have an easy bucket. If anything, make him earn it at the charity stripe.
Changes coming from both sides right now.
We got this. Let's go.
Count it. No and one. There was some contact there.
You know, Ed, I'm down with guys having 35, 40, maybe 50 points in the game. But the one thing you look for in a defensive end, when there's a huddle after a guy has dropped multiple buckets on you in a row, and everybody's quiet, nobody stands up and says, yo, I got him, I'm going to stop him, you're in a worrisome place for your team.
James Harden trying to cash in. Deep two there. Won't go. Lays it up and in.
You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
Third quarter comes to an end. It was a strong one for the Mavericks. Dallas with the basketballs. We begin the fourth quarter. And this one, Jay, not totally in the win column yet, but with a double-digit lead, you have to like their chances.
I love when I start seeing fans exit the arena so early in this game and I hear people say, this one should be in the bag. Well, guess what? It's never a guarantee. You have to be careful not to slow down the pace of the game and take the air out of the basketball. You have to put your foot on the gas and try to win this game with a sense of urgency.
Two-point shot for James Harden. Not that time. Burke with it. His guys hold a commanding lead. And this will get out of bounds. Last touch by Westbrook. Slams it down. Jay, that's been the story this evening.
I mean, another one? Another dunk? Another easy possession? I mean, how demoralizing can this be for the team? Why am I the only one yelling? I don't see anybody on the bench yelling. I don't see anybody on the court even angry right now.
Capella to Westbrook. Offensive board. Nice follow-up on the dunk there.
Ooh, shows like this separate the good players from the great ones. The good players, they have good first halves, and then they fade to black in the second. The great players, they just sustain that kind of dynamic energy throughout the entire ballgame.
Westbrook with the basketball. His guys down big. To Harden. Right time, right player.
Can't teach height.
Time to adjust. Both coaches making changes on the floor. Harden. Trying to cash in. Yes, it drops. Little drama on that one.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be creative. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up. Porzingis for two. The shot almost. To Harden. going to launch beyond the arc. Buries it on the catch and shoot.
It's easy to get lost in the chaos of the game down the stretch. With great awareness by the shooter to get those toes right behind the three-point line.
Tough shot and nearly a chance at a three-point play. No foul.
This may sound cheesy, but sometimes you just need to sit back, get a tub of popcorn, and just enjoy the show, because that's what you're watching right now.
Has a look. A shot no good there for Kuzma. Throws it down.
I know there's that old saying that says one man can't beat five, but we're watching one man carry four other players. His back has to be hurting. Another big-time finish.
Kuzma to Harden. Kuzma to Harden. Rockets with 4 to shoot. Short jumper won't go down. Oh, ferocious slam inside.
You know, it reminds me, Ed, of a story a legendary coach once told me. He said, if you ever get in a fight, you're not going to hit somebody with an open hand, correct? You'll probably break a finger. But if you hit somebody with the fist, what is that? That's 5 fingers working collectively together as one. That's how you deliver a knockout punch, and that's what we're seeing tonight.
We have both squads set to make some moves right now. Takes it right to the rim. A lot of contact there, but they say no foul. Stuffs it down with authority. The victory to the Mavericks. They've grabbed game 1 of this best-of-5 series. For my partner, Jay Williams, and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen. This has been the NBA Playoffs on EA Sports. Find out more at easports.com. Until next time, good night.
Hey, everyone. It's Jalen Rose, and it's time for the EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Mavericks put their opponents away in a blowout. What really stood out for me is how many times they scored on second-effort plays. It takes heart to keep up that kind of execution, and these guys were relentless. Here are the guys who put up the most points for the Dallas Mavericks.
Game track. Rebounds.
The Houston Rockets suffered a discrepancy in their rebounding, and in turn, it resulted in a loss. Rebounds are certainly not a glamorous stat.
Player of the game.
When you see these highlights, it's easy to see how this guy earned the award. His impact on the game wasn't lost on anyone.
Who was cold?
This isn't the segment you want to be in. On behalf of Ed Cohen and Jay Williams, this is Jalen Rose signing off.